Namaste. My name is Jeffrey Armstrong, Kavindra Rishi. Our topic tonight is the ancient Vedic science of karma yoga, or how to act successfully within matter while remaining focused on our true nature, or the yoga that liberates humans by empowering them to work within the laws of matter without becoming bound by the results of their actions. Karma is one of the few Sanskrit words that you already have some idea about. A few of them leaked in and were so interesting after all. The English language has been taking words from, and everything else, from the rest of the world for quite a while. We're hoping to be in a post-colonial era where we stop doing everything just for profit. And why is that relevant to karma yoga? Well, folks, because there are laws of nature. Karma is simply the reaction when you break one of them. It's not complicated, is it? And science, so-called, didn't invent the laws of nature. The discussion about the laws of nature came to the West from India, came to Greece from India, came to Rome from India, because how you act in the world is actually the subject of being here, isn't it? I mean, let's get real. Let's be Action Jackson for a minute. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hasta la vista. I'll be back. That was a divorce. This is the Action Jackson talking. And if you're following the series of these classes on yoga, we have discussed Ashtanga yoga, the yoga you're a little bit familiar with the body postures and so forth. We've discussed jnana yoga, jnana, 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 neti, neti, na iti. I'm not this, I'm not that. But the action here was all about doing. They're all about why we're here. They're all about climbing the mountain. They're all about doing the next thing. And yoga doesn't say you have to stop that and just go sit in a corner somewhere, go find a cave and do yoga, or go to a class and put on tights and do yoga. And the tights are optional, but not being naked, but you understand. So karma yoga is actually being in the yogic state of mind no matter what you do. Think of that. You know, it's the person who's got 12 plates going on sticks on stage on a TV show, and they're running from one to the other, and they're keeping 12 different sticks going all at the same time. And if they're also thinking, yes, and I'm an Atma, and I'm focused upon where I'm from in Brahman, and I'm not really attached here, I'm just spinning these plates. And that's called karma yoga. And the plates don't fall, and he keeps on spinning them. He doesn't look like a yogi, he looks like a juggler. Well, but you can juggle anything, and with your extra energy, which that person obviously has, because they're watching all 12 and keeping track of them and spinning, racing back and forth. Is that any different than being a CEO and managing a large operation? Don't you spend 12 hours a day at least running from one emergency to another? Well, that's called karma. It doesn't mean you're just getting karma. It means you're generating it, getting it, generating it, getting it. That's just the response to the laws of nature from the things you're doing. So it's the doer. But there's a yoga for doers, just as there was one for intellectuals, for thoughtfuls, for science-minded, for thinkers, for analytical beings, for nerds, if you don't mind. Are you a nerd? Then do jnana yoga. Don't dislike yourself. Just go, yep, came with the nerd package. Okay, fine. You're great at analysis. How about you're the Action Jackson? Oh, well, then, no matter what you do, keep in the right focus of who you truly are. See everyone around you as who they truly are. Be mindful of the laws of nature because you cannot rewrite them. They will rewrite you. You will not rewrite them. But isn't that the case? I have a few friends that were stuntmen, and I have one who jumped out of airplanes, last count 12,000 times, taking someone with them, teaching them how to parachute. You darn well better know the laws of nature if that's your job. What do you do? I jump out of airplanes. How long have you been doing that? 5 years. How many times have you jumped? 10,000. What were you thinking while you jumped? About who I really am. Was a yogi. While doing that, I was also remaining focused upon who I really am, because all my energy wasn't taken in what I was doing, because I wouldn't let it, because I was trained in yoga. So in here, I'm still aware that none of that is me. It's the same, if you'll remember, as the Samkhya, where you look at everything around you, not moving it, but just look at it in its categories and say, na iti, na iti. That's not me, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me. So the one who's adept at action and who's designed to do that, their yoga is to do what they do, watch carefully, without attachment to the outcome. No matter how good you are, whatever you do not have absolute control of the outcome, because you just did it. That was it. That was your moment. You took your shot. Now, if you're really good, most of the time you hit the target. But once you take your shot, you can't tell the arrow what to do after that. Or the boomerang. Ooh, oh, but that's what karma is. Karma is the boomerang from what you did. It's not punishment. And the whole thing got mixed up with religion, which is all about getting punished. And yoga doesn't have any system of you getting punished. It only has response. You put something in orbit as soon as you do it. And now it's in orbit. It has your name on it. It'll come back around. This is what astrology is all about. Astrology is about karma yoga. It's about the things that you've ordered from the catalog. So let me give you a way of thinking of this. So what are the planets? Are they making things happen? Well, that would be foolish. Why would they do that randomly? What if they're just UPS? What if they're just delivering parcels? What if those things that land on your doorstep that you have no control over were yours, or someone else made a mistake? Two choices. Someone might have made a mistake. UPS gave you the wrong package, in which case you call them and say, my name's not on it. But if it lands on you, then either someone just sent it and it'll be their karma, or it was a response to something you put in orbit 100 million years ago, or 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 10 minutes ago. It's some kind of feedback. So I want you to get it that everything within matter is orbiting. There's a feedback loop. You do something and it takes X amount of time for it to get right. You lay an egg, you have to sit on it, and when you sit on it for a while, there's a chick. So everything here is on a time cycle, and that time cycle, the result is coming back to you. You forget about it. This is where all the comedy comes from, the pratfall, funny slapstick comedy. This is what clowns make a living on. They do something and they get the outcome quickly and get smacked. And everyone laughs because they get it, that that's what nature's doing to them all the time. They do something and they get smacked. They do something and it bounces right back at them. So that cause and effect, all you have to add is that yoga is not about one lifetime. We're immortal beings. We cannot die. You cannot. I'm not saying you have to believe me, did I? But don't you feel it? Where does the desire not to die come from if it's not that you're not made to? In that case, the basis of the concept of reincarnation is that we keep coming back because we want more and because we have to receive the response to what we did before. Want more and did before. Want more and did before. That's the karma song. I still want more. Okay, so you're still in the game. When you're not attached to the game, that's called karma yoga. Got it? You do it, but you're not attached to getting the result. Now, you can't be controlled by the result to the same degree that you would have been if you were attached to the result. You see? And you can't control the result. So it's suicide. And that's why karma yoga is the dynamically active yoga. It looks like the person is turned outside to do everything, but in fact, they're still focused within and remembering, I'm an immortal being. I'm an Atma. I'm not from here. I'm not attached to the outcome. I did it. Now what happens will happen. Stuff happens, sort of. And so karma happens. There are a lot of other players out there doing things that I didn't instigate, but they may also include me in the reaction. Isn't that what we're doing in the world right now? How many people are trillionaires and controlling the whole planet? I bet you could put them in one house. And have they been elected? No, I don't think so. So karma gets complicated. And so this is what's important. Don't let the complexity of karma short you out. It's still conducting everything here. Except if you're not attached, you can still play the game. That's called karma yoga. And the way you don't get lost in the game is you don't get attached to the outcome. Instead, during the game, you're turned within. Even while you're playing, your focal point is within, your activity point is without. Now you can do both. And so this particular yoga is very important for people in our world civilizations to understand, because most of them, and karma is described this way. Think of it as a wheel. Think of the seasons of the year as a wheel. Look at the moon cycle. It's a wheel. It's really real, isn't it? I mean, it's really real. I mean, the wheel is really real. I mean, the reeling wheel is reeling us all around, and it's really real to us because we're getting spun around on the wheel. And in that case, karma is a complex series of intertwined wheels, all of which you cannot control, some of which is your past, some of which is creating a new future, and you're in the midst of it. And it's either pulling you left and right all the time and dividing you. What is a schizophrenic? The person who lost the center. What is somebody who's so driven by what happened in the past? Where are they living? In the past. So in karma yoga, you don't live in the past. The past is the past. You can't control the outcome. You don't try. So you do what you have to do, but you know you can't control the outcome. So this means you can't be taken out by any of those responses. You don't remember what you did in the past. You don't know and control what the outcome of what you already did was. So you do your best. Now what is your best? So this is the next Sanskrit word. It's called the Ritam. R-I-T-A-M. Gives us the English word, I got rhythm. If you got rhythm, then you're working with them. You're listening to the beat. You know where the beat is. You're on it. The rhythm and the rhyme. And if you do the rhyme, then you get more than a dime because you're a good mime and you're online. So that rhythm and rhyme are words in English that came from Ritam, the Sanskrit word for the laws of nature that are immutable and you cannot change. Karma yoga is working with those rules. It's just like you become a police officer. You don't arbitrarily pull your gun out and say, I don't like you, come over here. You say, excuse me, but throwing your whatever on the street is against the law. I'm going to give you a warning. Please don't do that next time. So they're called the karma police because they're keeping the rules. Got it? So now what if the whole cosmos has rules and all those beings that have been called gods and goddesses are not gods and goddesses. They're cosmic police. They're just beings who are managing this huge cause and effect auditorium called a universe that we're living in. And that huge arena of cause and effect is what we're working within. So if you're inclined to action and you're also going to be a yogi, the quiet place, your cave, is inside you. But out here you're busy. Nobody would know by looking on the outside that you're deeply meditating within on something entirely different. Now here's the next phase of yoga. Yoga is dedicating the outcome to a higher conscious, intelligent reality. All yogis do that. They are in samadhi. They have become the same in essence with the source of everything. So all yoga does, it rubs its head and pats its belly. It's doing this. Because it's necessary to keep our internal focus on who we are, because the world will pull us out of that focus, and then we'll get lost in the chaos and cause and effect of the world. But remember, the premise of yoga is that we're an immortal being. We emanated from the realm of Brahman. We volunteered to come and have this experience. We're not evil. But once we're here, this place is conducted by rules. This place is conducted by cycles, and that's called time. In Sanskrit, kala. And yes, you guessed it, that gave us the English calendar. The calendar is not going to stop because you become a yogi. The days are not going to say, oh, well, pardon me then, we'll stop having days. So this means the Ritam is going to be there. Oh, yes, and did I forget reading, writing, and arithmetic? Do you hear the Ritam in there? That's all. It's just Sanskrit. So there's Sanskrit hiding everywhere. But when you get to the original words, you understand, oh, so the rhythm of my existence is in response to the rules of nature around me, but that doesn't define what I'm experiencing internally, just my response externally. Can you stop the ocean from changing its tides? Can you stop the clouds from being in their formation? Can you stop a tornado or a hurricane? No. What are you in control of then? How you respond, how you do everything, and the consciousness you're in while you do that. And just like the other yogas, just like Ashtanga yoga, but there you're sitting in a cave somewhere, and you're ignoring everything except your meditation, but keeping your body in balance. Just like Jnana yoga, where you've decided what you're not. But here we added that next element, which is what you're doing. You don't think you control the outcome. You're trying to do it in a consciousness rather than unconsciously. And the whole time you envision yourself as an Atma in relationship to, here's the word, Param Atma, the all-pervading will of the Supreme Being. My name is Kavindra Rishi, Jeffrey Armstrong. See you next time, and have a Namas day.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net.